Hey guys, Wade here. In this video, we are going to be talking about Tezos, Decentraland, and Veracity, three patent-proof blockchains that are actively changing the way we look at entertainment. Now, before we get deep into this video, I want to ask you a question. Were you here in the mid-2000s when PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo were battling for market supremacy? They used to call it the console wars, and it has died down, quite a lot since the 2010s. But what I'm starting to see is that it may be revving up again. Not necessarily in the traditional gaming sphere, but in the blockchain gaming sphere. Interesting concept, guys. Just something I've been seeing. Let me know how you feel down in the comments. While you're doing that, show that like button some love. And we're going to jump into the Power 42 rankings and see what the markets are doing. At the time of recording, the markets are a bit shaky at the moment. Bitcoin coming in at 31,300, down 1% over the last hour, but up 2% over the last 24. Over the weekend, guys, we did get a pretty decent move to the upside. We got out of the 20s, which was a good sign. But I took a look at the charts, guys, and I'm going to tell you here. Just going to show it to you. On the weekly, you know how we used to do, guys. We are at the bottom. We are definitely at the bottom of this lower band, so we can't expect further move to the upside, but we have a very strong level of resistance at 38,000. And then when we take a look at the monthly really quick, guys, you can see this was May. All right, so what we're going to see most likely in June is a lot of recovery of what we lost in May, but you can still see here that stopping point, that major level of resistance, 38,000. So that's how I see things playing out in June. We're basically just going to do a recovery move of what we lost in May. Finishing out the top 10, guys, we got BNB coming in at 315, down 0.22% over the last 24 hours, followed by XRP finally breaking into that 40-cent range, up 1.8% over the last 24 hours. Solana at 4, followed by Polkadot, Tron, Polygon, Chronos, Stellar, and Flow. Flow and Algorand have been battling. We can really see the action in the reported market cap. Flow sitting at 2.75 billion and Algorand sitting at 2.73 billion. So both of these chains are performing very well right now, very close to each other. So we're going to see that 10th and 11th spot probably switch a couple more times as we get through this week. Now, outside of the top 10, we got a little bit of action here too. VeChain still sitting in 12th, followed by Decentraland, HBAR, Internet Computer, and then one of the guests for today's episode, Tezos, rounding out the top 16, guys. So we got a mix of red and a mix of green. Only time will tell how this week goes, guys. I'm still positive. I'm still bullish. And with that, let's jump right into our first segment. Veracity appoints new director of business development to advance enterprise adoption. If you're holding Veracity, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to Mr. Dan Hodgson. He is going to be the man responsible for bringing enterprise relationships to the Veracity chain and exposing the market to their VeraViews ad stack technology and their patented proof of view module, guys. Now, every time I get a chance to talk about Veracity, I love to tell people about this proof of view technology. Now, in this article, not only are we going to get an introduction into who Dan is, they're also going to go over what this technology actually does, guys. And it's a very crucial component, especially if you deal with a lot of media or content creation. Dan will be tasked with growing commercial partnerships for VeraViews, also maximizing yields, improving payment terms, and advocating their groundbreaking technologies. VeraViews is designed to help the ad tech industry's $160 billion problem with fraud. Using an end-to-end ad stack solution provided by Veracity, VeraViews combines the transparency and accountability of blockchain with the security of Veracity's patented proof of view technology. So guys, what they're highlighting here is an issue when it comes to advertising. I had some experience not only with drop shipping and e-commerce, but even here on YouTube when it comes to AdSense, ad revenue, ad placements, ad targeting. You learn a lot, right? Sometimes these ads aren't being watched by real people. There are those who have created entire platforms that are filled with bots, guys, and the only thing that they're there to do is watch ads. And that really takes away from the advertisers' revenue as well as the content creators' ad revenue. With this technology, they're going to address that situation, guys. That's what makes Veracity such a sleeping giant. Now, to put the caveat on this particular piece here, Dan's first in-person engagement for Veracity will be at the Cannes Lion Festival this year, where Veracity is hosting an exclusive invite-only lunch for over 50 advertising and publishing executives. Now, guys, I have a video on the channel where I break down Veracity's industry partnerships, okay? They are working with the same company that is helping Meta get their metaverse off the ground, that is helping Meta develop their ad technology, content distribution technology, so forth and so on. Veracity, very powerful project, guys. They're looking to address a very major use case. Definitely want to keep an eye out on them. Now, in the process of picking up this news, I was able to dig a little bit more into the ecosystem, guys, and I came across not only a partnership with a company called Bright Cove. Okay, now Bright Cove, I've pulled up their website here. It's a media platform. It's a very focused media platform with documentaries, educational content, blogs, things for content creators. Of course, you can see here, guys, these are informational videos, tell you how to shoot, edit, so forth and so on, right? And of course, we got documentaries. And where these come from, I'm noticing are major channels here. Okay, we got Bloomberg. I seen Al Jazeera when I was looking around earlier, Discovery Network. So what this is, guys, what we're looking at here and where Veracity is placing themselves is in the next stage of content delivery networks. Okay, Netflix and Hulu, Disney Plus, all of these streaming services change the way we will forever view entertainment. And what we are seeing now, guys, are independent platforms coming into the market that provide their own different types of streaming features and streaming functions. That's where the power of Veracity truly lies, guys, because when we're entering a decentralized world, what we're going to need is to be able to verify actions that occur on blockchain. And with using the example that I made earlier, guys, anybody can come and build a platform filled with bots and just siphon off ad revenue. Okay. Now, as a content creator, you can understand why I am very sensitive on this subject and why I pay a lot of attention to Veracity's development. So if you're interested, guys, Veracity also has a VRA wallet. Now, this hints at what we were discussing in the community tab this morning. So when I went to look into Gala Games, the node situation, minimum price, 100K. Wasn't necessarily sure if you guys were, shopping for something like that. So we'll kind of hold off on it. Once we get to that level, though, guys, there's no stopping us. We'll already know what to do. To build up to that, VRA Wallet is offering some very, very nice incentives, guys. So I just explained to you the importance of the utility of the VRA token. Right now, VRA is very, very undervalued, guys. And you can now use the VRA Wallet for staking of VRA, and you can get up to 18.25% a year. Now, after the Terra Luna situation, I know not everybody is necessarily looking for new platforms like this, but when you look at the ecosystem that Veracity is attached to, and you kind of look at what their purpose is, there's really no room for a massive liquidity event like what happened with Terra Luna. That's not their focus. Their focus is to increase the technology, to focus on content distribution and how to improve that experience. I don't see that allowing for any malicious activity to occur. I don't see it. Doesn't mean it ain't there. But by comparison, we're looking at security and we're looking at safety here. This play is very safe, strictly off of the utility of the Vera token and how early you would be to all of this. All right. Now, Veracity has some very big things in the works, guys. We saw that when they mentioned this Canaan festival, and it's very interesting. I'll go back right here. It's very interesting is that this festival is going to pop up again later in this episode. But let's jump over to our next segment, guys, and talk about Tezos. It's been a minute since we talked about Tezos, but they have not stopped upgrading or establishing new partnerships and developments, guys. Recently, they have just announced N8, which is a new Web3 events app with NFT ticket capabilities and a play to earn mechanism. Now, this particular article brought to us by XTZ News. If you're holding Tezos, you gotta have XTZ News bookmark in your browser because as of right now, it's really the #1 place for all Tezos related news. But this N8 is a new Tezos based Web3 events platform and application that comes built in with NFT ticket capabilities. It will also bring new meaning to the term play to earn mechanisms. Now, what I have highlighted here, guys, is really the core functions of the platform. They state that their main concepts are the party to earn mechanism. That means that they will reward people who go to electronic music events. Basically, if you buy a ticket on the N8 platform and you go to the event, you get rewarded in N8 tokens or the N8 coin. We are also going to offer an NFT ticket platform. With that new tool, event organizers will have the possibility to generate cool and unique NFT tickets instead of impersonal QR code tickets that will give access to the event. This will address the main issues that traditional ticketing systems face: fake tickets, black market, no control over the secondary market, so forth and so on. You ever been to a show and right before you get ready to go into the building, someone walks up to you and says, "Hey, I got tickets for this." And I'm like, dude, I'm already here. Man, anyway, I used to work at the auto show, guys. It would happen a lot, okay? Now, this gives the opportunity to the crowd to collect tickets and trade them later on the secondary marketplace, creating new sources of revenue for the creators of the NFT, the organizer, and possible designers. Now, this also is going to have major implications, guys, and we can see here I have also highlighted this, that the sandbox metaverse is part of their ecosystem. So when I read this, guys, it immediately drew to me that this is the type of application that will allow, let's just say, Decentraland to have an event. And if you're going to that event, you would go through this Tezos based app, get your ticket, and then that would give you access to the Decentraland event, or even an event in the sandbox metaverse. That once people see that that's possible, guys, this application is going to be duplicated 2, 3, 4 times over, and we're going to see it all through Web3. Now, what's so interesting about this, guys, is that in addition to N8, Tezos was also at the guest house for Red Bull Miami this year, guys, and guess what they were doing? NFT ticketing, guys, this time with Bitski. Bitski is a San Francisco-based startup that provides custom NFT storefronts for creators and brands, and they have utilized the power of the Tezos blockchain to offer Red Bull's first NFT collection, dubbed the Red Bull Guesthouse Keys. These NFTs will give benefits and special access to guests who will be attending and staying at the Red Bull Guesthouse in Miami of this year. So this is direct application of the technology that we just went over, and it's with an entirely different company. This is showing a trend, guys. Another reason why Tezos is really a sleeping giant. If you've been holding this long, hey, you are definitely in the right direction, guys. We talked about earlier that the Cannes Film Festival would pop back up again, guys. Well, wouldn't you know it, Tezos has been there too. They have launched the Clap Coin in collaboration with the LADCF, guys. This is a French movie production company. What they are looking to do with this move is pretty much allow for films to be funded in a decentralized manner, independently, okay? And with the type of connections, the type of establishments that Tezos already has in place, guys, they already know the studios, the producers, and even some of the creators of these next films. So what I see this indicating is the next stage again in entertainment when it comes to film funding. With more decentralized film funding, we'll start to see better independent films. Okay, we'll start to see more independent films, and it'll probably highlight some of the creators that don't get as much attention as they should. Tezos is a blockchain for the people, guys. There's just no getting around that. Tezos has zero downtime. It hasn't been hacked, hasn't stolen anybody's funds. They've already gone through their regulatory issues years ago. So they're compliant, they're ready to go, and they are focused on their medium. And that seems to be, in 2022, guys, it's entertainment. So this is big for Tezos, guys. Love talking about it. Now let's get into our next segment, and we're going to Decentraland. Last month, Decentraland released their desktop client beta, something that we knew was coming. We discovered that in our previous Decentraland update. And what this is going to mean if you're holding Mana, guys, or if you're participating in the Decentraland metaverse, is that a desktop client is the equivalent of an app, okay, essentially. But what this is going to do is going to dramatically increase accessibility to Decentraland's metaverse. And if we call back to and I love this this clip here, posted this in the community tab too, but what this is going to allow, guys, like I said, is a lot more accessibility to the Decentraland metaverse. And what we know is coming next to this is virtual reality. So with the establishment of this desktop client, it is here now, it is active. The very next step for Decentraland will be VR headsets. That just makes me think that a potential relationship with Meta is definitely in the future. I mean, it was the announcement of Meta that spiked Decentraland's price 5x. So let's just say we are approaching that same time this year, and Meta decides to establish a partnership with Decentraland. Can you only imagine, guys? But this is still going to be big for Decentraland. Again, a desktop client is the equivalent of an app that is on your computer, but this now allows people to get to access the Decentraland metaverse a lot easier and a lot faster. That is going to do wonders for adoption, guys, and we can see that we had a little bit of price activity earlier today. So definitely looking forward to what Decentraland has coming, guys. And again, like I mentioned in the beginning, these are small steps towards something very major on the horizon for the blockchain gaming industry. All right, the metaverse, what I am seeing is the cloud layer for the next generation of gaming, because we're in traditional gaming markets. We are definitely in a play on demand titles type of situation. That I fully understand. Cloud gaming is here. But what's the next stage of that? It's the metaverse. That's why all of these metaverses are being built, and they're being built with interoperability in mind. And Decentraland, being one of the first movers, the originator, I don't want to call it the Atari of the metaverse. I would rather say it's the PlayStation of the metaverse. They're setting a precedent, guys. And there are other blockchains that are definitely looking to compete with them. So with all that being said, guys, that's all I got for you in this episode. If you found value in it, of course, you know what to do. Show that like button some love. Subscribe if you haven't already. And if you're interested in our last Decentraland update, it was more focused on Decentraland. I'll have that video pop up for you right here. And as always, while you're doing that, guys, you know what I want you to do. Have a great day. Have a prosperous day. But most importantly, if that money is digital, so is the hustle. I'll see y'all in the next one.